And that's how the theme song goes. Hey there, hi there, ho, ho there. Welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. And if you didn't know, this is the premiere podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Okay. Hey, that was the cleanest intro I've ever had for this entire show. So I'm very happy that's happening. I'm very happy that it's happening. Okay, anyway, what's on the docket for this week? I got to tell you right now, I got nothing. I got a whole heap of nothing. I did not prepare anything. I did not see any movies. I did not go. Well, I went out, but I just didn't. I didn't do anything that was worth mentioning. So I'm very sorry to be woefully unprepared. But last night I was watching. If you're listening to this, I gotta tell you right now. I'm recording this. The Bachelorette is on. I am not watching it. I am watching One Mississippi on Amazon. I should be watching The Bachelorette, and that football game starts, but I don't care about it. Anyway, it's Georgia, Alabama. Don't really care about that stuff. But last night, the what's it called? The Golden Globes came on. A whole bunch of people were there. It was great. They did things. They talked. They gave away awards. Whole typical thing. Let's see what's going on over. Let's talk about who won and who lost. The big winners and losers. And honestly, my computer finally connected to the internet. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have an issue where my laptop, my very expensive laptop, does not want to connect to the internet. It's been for about a month now. It just goes, or 2 months. It just goes in and out of internet connection, but only at home. Only when I connect to something else that's not my home Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. But now I can finally get on over to. Truth be told, I was using my phone. I was using my phone for the last minute and a half of whatever I was talking about, just trying to vamp and try to find the Golden Globe winners. I'm on the New York Times website, and we're just gonna go over the Globes and everything. I've been getting emails all day about the Globe aftermath. I've been getting and it's they're talking about Oprah winning or going to run for president. Even though it's not true and it definitely won't happen, but apparently. I think The Hollywood Reporter, ran her Q score, and they had an exclusive, or it might have been Variety. They said that she has the highest Q score out of Tom Hanks and Dwayne Johnson, people who are quote unquote rumored to be running. So for the 2020 election. But let's get on to it. Let's get on with it. I'm at NewYorkTimes.com. You can read along with me if you'd like. Don't. It's not. It's. You don't have to. I don't even know why you're listening to this. To be completely honest, I'm at an article. The best and worst of the Golden Globes. Let's see what they got. Let's see. They got a TV review. Oh, there's a winners list. Thank God. All right, because I was not going to be able to find it. Okay, here we go. The most electrifying speech reaction. Of course, that was Oprah. She accepted her Cecile B. DeMille Award. If you haven't seen the speech, I implore you to go and find it on Google's youtube.com webpage with the many thousands upon thousands of videos on YouTube, right? Just go find it. It's wonderful, and you should cherish it. It's just like, except for Tiffany. Okay, so Tiffany Haddish had Jesus, just dropped a marker. Tiffany Haddish had a New York Film Critics Association Awards acceptance speech that she gave. It was 17 minutes long. I believe a woman named Allison, not Allison Rich, that's a comedian. Some woman named Allison recorded and put it on Facebook. You can watch it. I also referenced it in this week's News Time. We'll talk about that later. It was great. She just went off. It was wonderful. It was, all the white people enjoyed it. So there you go. But this Oprah speech, for lack of a better term, was better. Was way better in terms of it just pushing things forward. Last night at the Golden Globes, if you didn't watch, if this is the future, then they talked about sexual harassment. It was the first award ceremony to come out after all of these big sexual harassment, I don't want to say allegations. I don't want to say allegations because a lot of them turned out to be true. It was the first award show after this whole scandal just coming down, and I think that Seth Meyers did a fantastic job at handling it. He did a really good job at telling. His monologue was great, and then he did a good job at ushering on along everybody. But what I noticed, and what a lot of people know, not a lot of people, what a few writers on the internet also noticed, is that when men got up to win, they just said thank you to everybody. And then when women got up to win, they really brought up the Me Too movement. So this Me Too movement is a hashtag, and it's for women joining in and saying that they too were assaulted, or that they also, or men can do it too, and also that they were are not accepting, but they're walking in league with the women who were assaulted, even if they weren't assaulted. So even if the women that are accepting it weren't assaulted. So a lot of the women that got up were basically talking about, hey, we're all together in this. There's a lot of powerful women out there, and we can do this, and we can stand better. And it's a good movement. It's a great movement. So they wore black to symbolize, and they wore a pin from a new organization called Time's Up, and Reese Witherspoon and Sarah Jessica Parker were really not, I don't want to say pimping it, but they were championing it, and they brought people brought activists as their guests, and it's wonderful. It was great, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So when Oprah gets up there and gives her speech, hers is, and what I'm going to quote this, the New York Times article, "The Best and Worst of the Golden Globes." It's instantly iconic address of the Time's Up and Me Too movements. So, I mean, but what Oprah did was she got up there, she gave a speech, and she referenced Rosa Parks, but through a backwards channel of Reese Taylor, who was a black woman who was raped in 1944 and whose white assailants were never charged. But Rosa Parks stood for Reese Taylor, and it was just amazing. So yeah, there's that. And I'm just gonna move along. Let's see. They said they have the worst red carpet interviewers. Why is Ryan Seacrest up there? That man, look, he has 97 shows. What happened to E? Something's going on with E. And I guess let's see what's going on here. I don't care. It doesn't, you know what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep going. Again, Seth Meyers did a really good job. Okay, yes, I wanted to mention this. Natalie Portman went up there with Ron Howard. People were cheering, clapping, blah blah blah, whatever. Ron Howard says something, and then Natalie Portman says that she goes. Ron Howard says something about the directors and that they're about to announce for best directors or whatever. And Natalie Portman says, "Yeah, and they're all males too." And it's as if Oprah had gotten back up there. Everybody, oh my God, that was such a wonderful one-liner, and I think it was the funniest thing I've ever heard and the truest thing I've ever heard. So there we go. Okay, so let's see. Best speech. We got a best speech from Sterling K. Brown, of course, because he's a wonderful speaker. And then we got the unlikeliest appearance on the award show stage, which was Tommy Wiseau. James Franco won for his part, and the director, the disaster artist, and Tommy Wiseau walked all the way up to the stage. I don't remember I read an article that said that Franco invited Tommy to the stage, but I don't remember seeing that. I remember Tommy getting up and walking. It was the funniest thing. Oh my gosh. It's really great that 20 years after, when was it, 2004? That's when the movie came out. It's really great that 14 years after Wiseau and his friend, I don't remember, the friend that Dave Franco played in the movie, but they were stuck in traffic for Golden Globes in 2003 or 2004, and Tommy Wiseau said something, I can't do the accent, but he said that I'm going to be in the Golden Globes, and I'll make them stop for traffic and something like that. And 14 years later, he's in the Golden Globes, and he did it. And I guess he kind of, not technically, but he did sort of, in a weird way, win an award. So good for Tommy Wiseau. I'm very happy for him. But let's move on to, that's something I'm going to read later. I just clicked on an article that said, after Globes, women declare success, but what about the men? I want to read that later. Okay, so here we go. Here are the movies. Here are the winners. I saw a lot of these movies, and I'm very sad that I did. It's a very sad thing that I did see all these movies, but let's get right to it. Best motion picture drama was Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, which is weird because I thought from what I was hearing about this on the podcast, especially on Pop Culture Happy Hour, they did not like this movie. Reviews I read, they did not like this movie. But you know me, I'm trying to remain somebody who is able to be objective when it comes to these things. So I haven't seen it, but apparently everybody at the Globes loved it, especially when they mentioned it. People clapped about it. It was really crazy. Let's see. They also won for best performance by an actress. Of course, it was Frances McDormand. Of course, she's one of the best actors out there in the world. And, you know, I think Helen Mirren up there too. She was there last night, and Meryl Streep was there. I think they were just tables away from each other. It was great. If you have those three just major actresses together, oh my God. Speaking of major actresses, Viola Davis, she looked great. Her hair was up in this giant poofy curl basket, and I enjoyed it. Anyway, moving along we got the best motion picture, musical, or comedy, Lady Bird. And they were up against The Greatest Showman, which again was the only musical, obviously, because it's from the guy who did La La Land, one of the greatest. The Simpsons did a La La Land parody last night during the Oscars on the Simpsons episode. I just got finished watching it. It's a really good parody. You guys should watch it. Let's see who else was in it. Ed Sheeran was in it. Oh, so good. Anyway, but yeah, Lady Bird went up against The Greatest Showman, which again is another movie that I do not think was well received. But I think it's because of the people that were a part of it. Zendaya, Zac Efron, the guy who did La La Land. I know his name. I just can't. Justin Hurwitz and the director. Oh, God, I can see his face in my head. Anyway, I'm going to look it up. I feel like a really, really not good person because I don't know his name right now because I haven't seen La La Land. And I would say it's Damien Chazelle. I haven't watched La La Land in a few months, but it is on HBO. And I have caught it twice. I have caught parts of it twice. So I maybe have seen it 8, 9, 10 times in the past year. Maybe 10 times. Yeah, I would put it at 10. If you count those last 2 times, which I watched for maybe 10 minutes at a time, that's 20 minutes total. They were kind of near the same part, which is weird why I watched the same part twice on HBO for a movie I own. Anyway. Lady Bird's wonderful. Of course, if you've read my review, go read it. If you read my review, go read it. If you read my review, I enjoyed it. If you haven't, then know that Saoirse Ronan did a great job. Laurie Metcalf also wonderful job. I do believe that they will be nominated for an Emmy, both of them. I guarantee. You can hold me to that. We also have the best director of motion picture, Guillermo del Toro. I don't think I pronounced that right. Shape of Water was, again, fantastic movie. Sally Hawkins did not win for her part. I really wanted her to win, but of course it went to Frances McDormand. But it was Shape of Water, of course, is a fantastic movie. It looks great. It's wonderful. It's no wonder. Doug Jones, he wasn't nominated. It sucks. I kept thinking about him during the awards ceremony. I didn't even think he was there, but I quite honestly don't know what he looks like. Every time I see him, he's like Andy Serkis. Every time I see him, he's in makeup. So if you're not an ape or a water creature, I don't know what you look like, guys. And then we got the best performance for by an actor in a motion picture, Gary Oldman. It's a drama. Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour. Never seen it. Never even heard of it. So move on from that. Saoirse Ronan. I was going to say Saoirse Ronan won for her role. Then we got James Franco. Allison Janney won for I, Tonya, which I am taken aback. I did not know it was a comedy. I thought it was an autobiographical drama, like most autobiographies are. That's how you pronounce things, right? you know it's look, I've been watching Hulu since 5 p.m. I wrote all day long, and then from 9 to 5 I don't turn on TV. I just sit there and I try to write. Or today I took a nap and then I made my WordPress portfolio, and then I wrote for a few hours. So there's that. At least I wrote. I mean, yeah, come on. I tried to set up an interview. That's another thing. That's a whole different story. But anyway, and then so at 5 o'clock, I turned on my Xbox and I turned on Hulu so I could catch up on the shows I missed last night. Watched The Simpsons, Last Man on Earth, Ghosted, and Lucifer from last week. But one of the commercials that was airing is for a movie called The 1517 to Paris, and it is an autobiography. Why am I saying it like that? It's an autobiography. I did it again. It's an autobiography starring. All right, so it's a Clint Eastwood movie about. I didn't even know it existed. It's a Clint Eastwood movie about these three guys who were in the army, and they are playing themselves. This is so real. They are playing themselves, and they stopped a terrorist attack in 2015 in Europe when they were traveling across, I believe, Germany, right? No, on a train bound for Paris. So they were traveling to Paris, and it stars Spencer Stone, Anthony Sadler, and Alec Scarlatos. And they're these three guys, and they're on this train. And this, I guess, the story is there was this terrorist, and he hopped on a train like as if he was the Hulk. It happened in the past. I can laugh about it. So he hopped on the train, and he had a gun, and he was gonna shoot the people on the train. And then let's see, this was in 2015 Dallas. And I guess, let's see, he was a 25-year-old. They're all 20 something. So this makes me feel like I haven't done anything in my life. So let's see, one guy, I guess the guy, what's his name? Spencer Stone. He tackled the armed suspect and was stabbed in the neck and eyebrow and almost lost his thumb. And they all just essentially fought off this guy. And then they all got these Purple Hearts. And I guess they were at the 2016 Spike Guys Choice Awards, where they were presented with an award of honor from Clint Eastwood. And then Clint Eastwood was talking to them backstage. And what this is what I assume happened next. Clint goes, "You guys want to be in the movie? You guys want to make a movie?" And then they say, "Sure." And then for part of 2017, they shot it. And guess who else in this movie? Judy Greer. We got Judy Greer, Tony Hale, Jenna Fisher, Tom Lennon, and Julia White, and PJ Byrne. So if these are all names of really good people, really good actors. They're all comedians too, which is weird. I don't think Julia White's a really comedian. She's an actor guy, but yeah, and they're all in this movie, and it's coming out in February 9th. I did not see a trailer until today, and I saw it about 7 times throughout when I was watching my Hulu shows. So there you go. I just dropped the marker, and I had to bend down to get it. So there you go. It's a PG-13 rated movie, and Clint Eastwood directed it. Who wrote this movie? Let's see. Dorothy Blyskow, based on the autobiography, and it's based on a book too. So they had a book written, and then they have a movie written. Man, I wish that could happen to me. I mean, not the terrorist part, but stuff like just something happens. I don't know. I wonder if they got book profits. I wonder if those three guys, Spencer and his boys, got book profits. That'd be good to know. Anyway, so there you go. So that's why they splintered off from a conversation about I, Tonya. So I've never seen I, Tonya, but I will at some point. What's her face was there? I can't imagine her name. She's the Australian chick who was in Suicide Squad. Margot Robbie. Yeah, she was there. She had some guy sitting next to her. I said, "Who's that guy?" I said, "Hey, guy." Yeah, see, it was also weird how they kept mentioning. Oh God, what is her name? The woman from Downsizing movie. Let's look it up. Look it up, Chad. Look it up. Her name is Jesus. Yeah, of course it doesn't. It's not the first name on Google. Hong Chow. They kept referencing her, and she was right there, and she was part of a bit. It was very strange. I don't think people like that movie, and she wasn't even nominated. So I don't understand why they kept referencing her. Anyway. But she was great in the movie. And let's see, who else we got? We got the best motion picture for animated. Of course, it was Coco. And Coco was up against no one this year, essentially. Ferdinand was the only newcomer for... No. Ferdinand is is that Blue Sky? I don't know. I've never seen it. And I want to see it, but it's always weird for an adult man to go to a children's movie. It is Blue Skies. I was right. And it's also Fox, too. I think Fox owns Blue Skies. I'm an idiot. Of course I'm an idiot. John Cena stars in that movie. I didn't think that movie was doing too well. Did too hot, but apparently it does. That is their first... Nope. Peanuts movie was good, too. Was received well. I'm not going to say good. Received well. But besides that, they've done Ice Age. And, they did Horton Hears Who. And Robots. I love Robots. I own Robots. Man, that's a good Robin Williams movie. That's why I just wanted to say that. I just want everybody to know. Okay, let's move along to so stupid. Who's even listening to this by now? Then we also have Best Motion Picture, Foreign Language, In the Fade. I don't know what that is. They showed those awards last night, and I was editing News Time, and that's why I had to buoy myself back and forth between the TV and this laptop. I kept turning around every time I heard something cool. I had to turn around and laugh and go, "Ah, that was great." When it went to commercial, I had muted it and I threw it. Boy, I went really hot on the mic there. I muted it and I threw on whatever audio I needed for the News Time. I had to I'll talk about this later. No, you know what? We're 20 minutes in, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish this up. Then we got Best Original Song, This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. They had to give one award to The Greatest Showman. I don't even believe that this movie was well received enough for this is another autobiography. I don't know if this movie was well received enough to warrant all of these different types of accolades and stuff. I don't know what's going on here. But I mean, last year they had an issue with La La Land being such a. La La Land's a fantastic movie, and everybody had such an issue. Everybody that I listen to on podcasts and read about on the internet, they had such an issue with it being, lauded as a good movie. But then when it comes to, of course, their Star War, then it's crap. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. In that sense, it doesn't make sense to me. So let's move on. For television, we got the best drama, which was Handmaid's Tale. Of course, that was going to win in this climate. And then we also have Lizzie Moss. I'm not friends with her. I'm not John Hamm. That's what he calls her. Elizabeth Moss. She won for Best Actress. And, of course, I've only seen about 5 seconds of that show. So, it warrants it. I'll back it right up. Sterling K. Brown won for This Is Us. He's the only one that works in that show because he's amazing. We got the Marvelous Miss Maisel for Best Musical or Comedy. Now, here's the issue. That show should not have won. There are funnier shows, and I am only thinking that I don't want to blame anything, but I'm only thinking this show won for one reason, and that is because I'm not going to name it, but I think I know I'm hitting at it. And it sounds very sexist, but it's very true. Come on, Smilf was good, Insecure was good. I don't understand why Marvelous Miss Maisel won, and I don't even. Again, no one's talking about these other obviously better shows. No offense to Marvelous Miss Maisel, I will watch it, but again, Insecure and Smilf were better shows. Let me see who were the best. Let me see, because I know. Oh Jesus! Oh my God! I just messed up. I know Smilf was. Let's see. We got the best musical. Oh, you know what? I'll just go to Splitsider. They have the things. I don't know why I'm doing this. TBS officially scraps Louis C.K.'s animated comedy, The Cops. Ugh, boy. Yeah, I'd scrap it too. First thing, I don't know why TBS. The thing was, TBS put it on a hiatus. They put on a hiatus right after the whole scandal was admitted, which we all knew because we're in the comedy community. But anyway, they put on a hiatus, and then now they're gonna come out and say, yeah, we don't want to do it anymore. Of course you don't want to do it anymore. I wouldn't. Oh God, these idiots. Anyway, let's see. Best television series comedy. So it was Blackish, Marvelous Miss Maisel, Master of None, Smilf, Will and Grace. So Insecure wasn't even up there. I was thinking it was going to go towards Will and Grace. It was between Will and Grace or Blackish. And of course, I would have bet all my money on Blackish, but I did not do that. I wanted Smilf to win. That was my backup. I didn't do a pool this year. I don't know why. Also, all my friends are married, so I don't want to bother them with sending them a pool for award shows anymore. I think I'm done doing that with my married friends. I got to find some single people who care just as much about these award shows as I do and don't care about football, which I am missing the game. It is 8:34. It's still going. People keep asking me, are you a Georgia fan? No, I don't even like college football. I like NFL football. I don't care about kids my age. And you know what? Someone says the exact same thing about comedy. They don't care about the alternative people. They only care about the Kevin Harts, the Louis C.K.'s. And that really got me. And the Amy Schumers. They don't care about the let's see, John Gabris's, Jess McKenna's, I'm going to keep name, Jonah Ray, Matt Meyer. They don't care about those people. They only care about the people who got 97 TV shows. So anyway, so I would put all my money on Smilf. If anything, I would have put all my money. Well, not Smilf. I would have put all my money on Will and Grace. If that was the case. If I was really doing this for Cashish, I would have done Will and Grace, because that was a revival. People talked about it, but I don't think it's well received, based on the reviews per episodes by Gwen Inhot on the AV Club. But I trust these people. That's why I learned their names. That's why I learned reviewers' names on the AV Club and New York Times and all that stuff, because it's easier to get in their heads. Like Dennis Perkins, I know he's tired of reviewing The Simpsons, and I know he did not like last night's episode with Ed Sheeran. I know he did not. C+ is still good though. That's what the website's for. Let's move along to Marvelous Miss Maisel. Not one. Rachel Brosnahan won for Marvelous Miss Maisel. And you know what I think is that, and Aziz Ansari won for Master of None, which is, good for him, I guess. But that was such a mean thing. Anthony Anderson should have won. If Anthony Anderson does not win the Emmy, I'm going to be so mad. But what I'm guessing doesn't happen is they don't see my pool, and then they make the votes at the last seconds, because I guarantee that happens. I know it happens. Conspiracy. Big Little Lies won for Best Limited Series. It technically still is a limited series. At the time it was, and it still kind of is, even if it runs for, I think the new rule is for limited series, it has to run for less than 2 seasons or something like that. Less than 2 or 3 seasons. Less than 2 seasons is 1 season, so I don't know. They made a new rule for it. Nicole Kidman won for Big Little Lies. Ian McGregor won for Fargo. Laura Dern won for Big Little Lies. And Alexander Skarsgård won for Big Little Lies. I like that show, but rewarding Skarsgård is kind of like rewarding the original husband for beating his wife. Listen, hear me out. Maybe don't give that guy an award. But sometimes I feel as if when there are these limited series, or an actor pops up for a supporting role on a TV show and they get these award nominations, and I'm talking about a big movie actor like Alexander Skarsgård, who also had It, or Nicole Kidman or Reese Witherspoon. They nominate these people because I don't believe they're going to get them back. Like Ewan McGregor, that's why he won, because he's not going to come back. The only next time he's going to get a Golden Globe will probably be for a movie. They think, oh man, we got to get this guy a Golden Globe. We got to get this guy an Emmy, or else he won't come back. So anyway, also last night I'm trying to learn some new editing tricks to make News Time look a little bit more real. Before, it was tough. And if you listen to the anniversary episode, the birthday episode that I recorded a few months ago, which is probably just as long as this one right now, you know that News Time, it's modeled after News Time, and the website, that pretty much everything I do is modeled after a bunch of stuff that I used to watch on the internet or read on the internet. And now that I have grown older, I'm trying to make it its own thing. The website and News Time, them their own things. And as with this show, this show is not modeled after anything. It's kind of its own brand new thing, and it might even change titles, because I have a really good title that's not the Constitutionals, that I really want to use, but I can't find a way to use it, and I've got to copyright the name because it's such a good name, or send it to the Writers Guild. The Writers Guild. It's it's Aquaman's writers union, and I'm done. That's not funny. But anyway, so I found a way to make the News Time title words zoom in and stuff, and move and stuff, and make it look good and everything. And just watching all these YouTube tutorials, reading all these things about Adobe Premiere, and because I'm paying a lot of money for this stuff, so I might as well utilize it to its fullest. So I'm excited, and I was doing that, and I recorded a new theme song. And I recorded new words to the theme song. It's not called C+ News Time anymore. It's called News Time. I dropped using the date, given the date of the week, because it was really confusing. And admittedly, it was confusing when I was trying to drop it, because I had the first episode of this year. It was coming out, and I didn't know where to title it. Episode 1 _ the files are named the dates of the week that they're coming out. It's easier to store it that way. So anyway, so now that's all in the past now, and I got News Time. Looks great. Well, it doesn't look great, but it looks decent. It looks passable. If someone clicked on it, they'll go, "Oh, okay, it's a news show." and my writing is a little bit tighter, and my presenting is a little bit presenting's tighter. My writing is better, so I'm excited to see what else I can do. And I realized that this sounds like the douchiest thing, but I realized that there were a lot of good stories, especially in the last half of the year, especially like after the summer. I had a lot of really good stories, a lot of nice 8-minute to 12-minute episodes of news time, whereas before they're all 4 minutes, and I was reading off a tablet. It just didn't feel good or sound good at all because I was trying to emulate this thing that I used to watch on the internet. So, I mean, now I have this thing. Now I have this thing that's its own beast. So I can't wait to do it again. Also, so imagine you are a 12-year-old in band, and you guys are looking at your sheet music. What's your sheet music sitting on? It's sitting on a metal plastic lantern, and lectern. That's what it's called. Not lantern. I keep saying that. It's a lectern. Your sheet music sitting on it. I bought one of those for $20 my laptop can sit on there so I can read the teleprompter. I'm reading a teleprompter when I'm doing news time, of course. So I can sit behind the camera so I can read the laptop, which I go to a teleprompter website and read the script from there. Instead, but prior to that, I would have to stack books on top of my cable box, on top of my this nightstand that the cable box sits on, and then then I put the boxes up, 3 boxes. A PS4 box, a Wii box, and Nintendo Switch box, and a Beats by Dre box. and then I put on a bunch of books that I need to read, like Hamilton and one of Nick Offerman's books, Amy Poehler's book, Issa Rae's book, Phoebe Robinson's book, not Issa Rae's. I gotta buy Issa Rae's book, and then so they're all just stacked on top of each other. That's stick the laptop on top of there. Now it's just the lectern because it goes tall enough, and the laptop can sit up there, and I can just tighten little bolts and stuff. It's a haphazard way of doing it, but I think it's an easier way of doing it. So I'm very excited to record news time again, try it out again, because it was so weird. Anyway, that's all the news. That's it. That's all I got that's all the news. I'm talking about news time, and I just went directly to the conclusion. That's all I got though. That's it. That's all I got. I'm very tired, and I gotta do some stuff. So that sounds weird. I don't have to tell you any of that. Why don't you head to the website if you like this show? You can head to the website, cpluscomedy.com. Big sigh, because I'm sick of this crap. Big sigh. You head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where you get the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Go to the YouTube page, youtube.com/cpluscomedy, where you can watch our premiere show, News Time. Not C Plus News Time anymore. It's News Time, guys. And guess what? This week's episode has 2 stories in it. I got a double dip for you this week, or in the future, whenever you're gonna watch it. It's a double dipping. All right, so it's about the revivals and reboots and soft reboots. The issue is, I thought it was gonna be an episode just about that stuff, and then I realized weeks ago when I had planned it out that it was not going to be able to be stretched, and I didn't want to do a list episode again for anything. So I just kind of give a refresher on what reboots are. I've already done an episode of reboots, kind of, sort of. I've done 2 episodes on reboots. A game show, or like 8 months ago, and then I did reboots like 3 years ago. Anyway, but that wasn't a full story. And then the game show reboots was only about game shows. So I did a kind of refresher course on what reboots were. I gave a definition of what soft reboots were, and I gave a definition of what revivals were. So there you go. I hope I don't have to touch that stuff again, reboots and survivals, because that was kind of a tough subject to not just list things in. And then also following up with that is BuzzFeed, Cracked, Mashable, and Feral Audio. Feral Audio is actually shutting down completely, but the former 3 sites, the former 3 shites. That is not a curse word. This is a clean show. That's it. I said shites, and it was a mess up. Okay. Anyway, the former 3 sites were they last year, and pretty much almost every year, they're laying off hundreds of people. Put together, they're laying off hundreds of people, and that's because for BuzzFeed, they missed their earning quota or something like that. Oh, I don't even know the words. They missed anyway. BuzzFeed wants to open up a IPO at some point. I think this year they had to fire people because they missed their quote, whatever, they missed their points. And Mashable is just Mashable, and the reason is because these are just basically click sites, and they make their articles and write their articles in quote unquote news journalism for Facebook and Google for you to just be able to click on them. But when the problem is that when they make them for these things, then everybody else is doing that, and Facebook and Google are the only ones winning because they're the only ones getting the clicks. So the issue is that when you make a article to be a hit, then you're not always going to have a hit because not every story is a hit. I'd say something like that in the middle of the episode. So yeah, there you go. It's a really extensive episode. Watch it. It's great. Anyway, all right, I'm going to end this right now. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later. See, I didn't say bye this time.